guys, welcome to the James Bond Show. Krazy Kajeevie here with you. No fears, limits, or substitutes. Guys, wow. Okay, so this is a trailer breakdown. Now, obviously, I'm not doing photos and including video. I do plan to do that stuff hopefully later on and when I get the technology soon. But for now, I'm just going to give you my thoughts and my words on the No Time to Die official trailer because I have seen it. It's been out now for about 2 hours. Okay, so what are my initial thoughts? Then I'm going to, from memory, I'm going to do a bit of a breakdown. I'm going to give you some theories, but what are my initial thoughts on it? Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it, loved it. Eon, well done. Well done. Congratulations. Credit due where credit's due. That was a phenomenal trailer. I put a little poll thing up within a group chat with my 007 buddies, and all the guys scored it a 9. I scored it a 10. 10 out of 10. Why did I score the No Time to Die trailer 10 out of 10? Wow, surprises. I mean, who expected the trailer to start off with James Bond accusing Madeline of lying and everything, excuse the French here, there's only one way to say this, everything going to shit. That's what it looks like. So, surprise, right there, hit us with a surprise. Boom. Hit us straight away with some action in the DB5 in Materia. Wow. The visual palette of the film, what Kerry Fukunaga, Linus Sundgren, and of course their talented team, including gaffers, and of course post-production guys and the colour grading and all that, have done a gorgeous job. This film is looking like a postcard. It looks gorgeous. I think for a teaser trailer, if it is that really, I think it's more just an official trailer. Wow, there's so much and there's so much to look at. And they've given us glimpses of character. It's not all the big, long, black, like Skyfall and Spectre. It's got beautiful pacing. The trailer's beautifully paced. And every 5-10 seconds, where it's taking us somewhere and we're learning more and more. So my first reaction is Eon, wow. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of emasculating of Bond. Nomi's like, oh, you come near me or blah, blah, blah. I'll shoot you in your other knee or in the knee in your good one. But that's a bit of humour. So far, if the producers and the director, if they leave that humour kind of at that level where it's fun banter and Bond doesn't look like a pussy, then I'm all for it. Bit of banter, kind of like in Skyfall with the Moneypenny Bond kind of thing. It worked. Now, one of my biggest fears for this, as you all know, was Bond would be an emasculated pussy. I will always admit when I've got something wrong. Now, I can't fully admit I've got this wrong, or got my fears were wrong until I see the film, because it's just a trailer I've seen. But Eon, you have, I'm going to try not to tear up here because I'm so happy. I'm proud. I am so proud of that trailer. Oh man, I'm going to tear up because the number one thing that I love about this trailer is James Bond is a badass. I don't like his clothing and that so much. He looks great in the tuxedo. But he's a badass. He's like, the way he's looking at Madeline in that car, he's looking at her like he wants to kill her, let alone these guys trying to kill him. Wow. I just think, yeah. And every time we see Bond, he's looking like he's ready to smack down and get nasty. So let's have a look at some of the thoughts, theories, not just mine, but many other people out there too, had that have come true. So first of all, obviously the scarring on the face, which I mentioned in my last video with Rami Malek's Safin character, has happened. One thing I noticed in the trailer, did you guys all notice something that we didn't see? Whose hands didn't we see in the poster? The poster they've released, the character poster, whose hands do we not see? I just still believe he's going to be Dr. Nose. So I think the whole facial thing looks great. I think Rami Malek's look is great. I don't know how they're going to do an age thing, or maybe he doesn't age or something. I don't know, because if that is him in the mask, which Kerry Fukunaga in an interview said, yeah, that is Rami Malek in that mask, chasing that little girl. So if the little girl's Madeline, how's the age thing happen there? Or is this just another big surprise and we've got to wait and see the film? But yeah, so really loving the fact that Bond's a bit of a badass at the moment. Now, guys, before I go more into different scenes of this, I have got a crazy theory. Now, I came up with this theory and I've shared it with a couple of my mates and they're like, ooh, wow, okay, interesting. I am wondering, I could be completely wrong here. It's just a theory. I could wake up tomorrow and go, no. Just a theory. Is the Matera stuff, is all that stuff happening with Madeline, is it a dream sequence? Because if you look at a shot, probably medium shot on Daniel Craig at the bridge just before he jumps over, when you're looking at the trailer, freeze it on that shot, okay? Or just take screenshots of it. It's Mr. White. Have a look at it. It's like an amalgamation of Mr. White and James Bond, Daniel Craig. I've paused it. I've sent it up close. I sent it to the guys and they're like, oh my goodness, that's Mr. White. It's got the Mr. White hairline, Mr. White's nose. So I'm wondering, and you'll notice too, that when the camera pushes in, the background's all funny on him. It's very dreamy. We haven't seen that style in a Bond film before. So it's kind of dreamy. And then you see all the other Materia stuff where they're all Bond and Madeline and lovey-dovey and kissing and in bed. So I'm wondering if this stuff is setting up a dream sequence and Bond is dreaming about her. Now, remember, in the novels too, there were a lot of dream sequences as well. So I'm wondering, is this a dream sequence? And because of it, he says goodbye to Madeline and he goes off in... And he's literally, we all know he's in Jamaica, but he's literally living off the grill, which I think is a really cool and interesting concept. What else? Okay, I'm going to stick with my theory. And again, this isn't a spoiler, guys. It's just a theory. If you think it's a spoiler, well, I'm sorry. And if you don't want to listen anymore, that's fine. But I don't have any fact on this. This is just my fan theory. I still believe I believe more than ever that Felix Leiter is going to die. I think the only ones really here that potentially are going to die is Paloma. And I'm wondering if she is actually fighting against Nomi. One of my friends thought Nomi could be a double agent. Actually, a few people have said that. I'm starting to think that. There's a shot where there's all blood down Nomi's face and Paloma shooting and Nomi shooting, and it looks like they could be fighting each other. Now, I could be wrong on that, but potentially a theory. And then again, Nomi could be the goodie there and Paloma could be the baddie there. We really don't know a whole lot about Paloma and where she fits into the story. So yeah, there's so much to think about. And that's a great thing about this trailer. It gives you so much to think about. You don't quite know what's going on, but you get to see little bits of what's going to happen. Now, when M says, where's 007? We don't know who he's talking about. Is he talking about Nomi? Is he talking about James Bond? And that playful banter when Bond's in his off-the-grid house in Jamaica and Nomi's there, like she's saying she's been a 00 for 2 years. So it seems like there is going to be a bit of fun banter between those two, which could be pretty cool. I think the action, now I want to talk about the action. So the action from what we can see, I think it looks great. I love the wide angle shot. We see the car flip over and then we're on a reverse wide angle and we see the car going that way and the other car driving. I think that looks great. Also, there's a bit where Bond lifts off a cover off a car. That's got to be the V8 Vantage, the same car from the Living Daylights. I definitely think it's that car that he pulls the cover off there. So I'd love to know where that car's stationed, where it's based, and what's the reasoning for that. I also, as far as theory, I just want to touch back on Felix Leiter. Yeah, I believe he's going to die because we don't see him in Cuba scenes, from what I can tell. We only see him in Jamaica scenes. And then there's an explosion on the boat as the plane's leaving. And we also know there's a car crash as well in Jamaica, or there's a car chase. So I think Felix is going to die here. I think there'd be too many characters in Europe, and we just don't see any footage of him in Europe or at Dr. No's lair, etc. So I think Felix dies. Now, speaking of Dr. No's lair, you'll notice there's bonsai. There's like bonsai plants in the lair as well. And you'll see that there's a water shimmer on Bond's face and on Safin's face. So it's basically like a water lair, water-based type thing. The cinematography, again, is stunning with it. These, what are they, candle things in the water, and there's this long hallway type thing of water. I love the shot of Bond, Garrel, gun barrel style, shooting that right at the end. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. The set designs look incredible. I'm going to go on a limb here, and I've said this to the boys. I'm going to say a couple of things. I think this film's going to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Production Design to Mark Tilsley. I think his production design looks absolutely fantastic. I think there could be another Academy Award nomination for Linus Sundgren. His cinematography looks great. And I reckon Daniel Craig, if this is so intense like I think it is, I think Daniel Craig could be getting an Oscar nomination for playing James Bond. A lot of people thought he was snubbed in Casino Royale. I think this could be the one. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think this, obviously, you can't really count George Lazenby's On Her Majesty's Secret Service because it was his only Bond film. And it's probably a little harsh to judge License to Kill being Dalton's, since Dalton only did 2. And look, it's one of my favourite Bond films, as everyone knows. I won't say exactly where License to Kill ranks because I'm going to be doing my worst to best film rating all in one video very soon. And I do love Dalton. Great Bond. But I believe this is not only going to be one of the best James Bond films ever. I think it's going to be the best last Bond film for an actor. His last Bond film. So potentially this could be great. Now, Lashana Lynch 007, Nomi 007 was hidden in the trailer, okay? We can't get too excited. Let's just hope Eon stick on this path, and once again, let's pray and hope that Eon keep the woke stuff to an absolute bare minimum. If they do that, like I've always said, I think it could be a film of two halves. An incredible visual film, great story, great characters, and then they just dump on it with political correctness and virtue signaling. If they cut that stuff out and just keep a bit of fun banter and whatnot, wow, this could be incredible. And that's what I want, guys. That is really what I want. I just want this film to be great, to be successful, and to go to my original estimation, which I thought would be $1 billion. I went to 600 million thinking it might go wokey. Please, guys, don't go woke. Let it stand out. Now, I was going to talk about the action scene. So the DB5, the guys are all around with guns, the bad guys. The miniguns come out. Now, they were Kerry Fukunaga's idea. He came up with those when he built one of the Aston Martin DB5 Legos. He built one of the Lego DB5s. And he thought, those little lights, impractical for guns. So he went to Chris Corbould and he said to Chris Corbould, could the big main lights open up and we got miniguns in there? And he had them in the TV show thingy Maniac, which I haven't seen, but apparently they're in Maniac as well. Now, I love that. But the funny thing is, I've freeze-framed every section of the trailer over and over. And when the DB5 turns spinning around, it's going with the miniguns, you see a guy, one of the bad guys, he's going like this, hiding, and the bullets just go past him. The bullets at that would have just cut his legs in half. So yeah, I found that quite funny. Try and have a look at that bit, guys. Have a look at it. It's funny. I am going to leave the trailer in the link as well for you guys in case you haven't seen it. But I've got a feeling you would have stopped listening to me if you hadn't seen it. You would have gone to see it, then maybe you come back anyway. So Guys, more than anything, I truly want to know what you guys think of the trailer. What do you think of my thoughts? My theory about potentially a dream sequence, and is there an amalgamation of Mr. excuse me, Mr. White's face there with Bond just as he jumps off the bridge? Love to know your theories. None of them are wrong. They're just theories. And now that you've seen the trailer and images of Rami Malek, do you think he is Dr. No, or do you think, no, they're not going to go that way? And before I go, I've got to touch on Blofeld. So that's another theory I got right, and a few others out there, that it would be like a Hannibal Lecter style thing, and Bond's, talking to him, and you can see Bond looks really pissed when he's talking to Blofeld. And then that scene where Bond walks down the hallway and Madeline sees him and he sees Madeline, and he's like, oh no, I want to get out of here. So they're obviously separated, and I believe that will happen however it happens in Matera. I believe Matera will be the PTS. I still do. So, yeah, that's such an interesting dynamic, isn't it? How that's going to play out. So, guys, that's what I've got for you this time. Please like, please subscribe, leave your comments below and let me know. And, yeah, can't wait to read your comments, guys. Till next time, keep on bonding.